Tabernacle Choir and Orchestra at Temple Square and Bells on Temple Square present a music and the spoken word Christmas special, Christmas Day in the Morning. Conducting today's program is Mac Wilbur with special guests Kelly O'Hara, Richard Thomas, and the Gabriel Trumpet Ensemble. Organists Andrew Unsworth and Brian Mathias, and your host, Lloyd Newman.
Robert woke suddenly and completely. It was 4 o'clock, the hour when his father had always called him to get up and help with the milking. That was 50 years ago. But his eyes still opened every morning at 4, and even if he wanted to go back to sleep, which he usually did, it wasn't going to happen this morning.
email today? Good. I just want to make sure that it's going through. Yeah. Hi, Carol. Oh. Trista, can you help me figure out which frame we're on? Okay, thanks. Topic, subject? Huh. Wondering what we... So here, the Book of Mormon. How are you doing? Oh, good. Wow. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. How do you do? Can you hear this? I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. so kind. Hey, thank you. There she is, the superhero. Before you leave tonight, I need to talk to you. Okay? It's clear down there. Sorry. It's on your left. Oh, sorry. Oh, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome, Roger. How you doing, my friend? Carol Price. You're fine. It's correct. Yeah, that's correct. Um, I'll talk to about it. I'll talk after we pray. shared prayer every time. That was a really good prayer. Thank you for your help. Okay, so a couple things before we start. Um, I've been reading President Oak's biography. I don't know if you got it or not. I'm to the part where he's made a president of the church, and I want to bear testimony that President Oaks is called of God. You know, when you wake up in the morning, you don't think about this, you know, whether you're going to be a prophet or anything like that. But and I realize in my lifetime, I'm so old, most of the prophets have lived in my lifetime, and I'm excited to have President Oaks. He'll do a great job. I also had to pause with the material that we're talking about tonight, the Book of Mormon. I remembered I had paused to recall my recent visit to Harmony, Pennsylvania, where Joseph translated 2/3 of the Book of Mormon, and I don't know why I'm lucky enough to remember this church. I have no idea why. Hey, Steve. I prayed you here. Steve, I prayed you here. Yeah, I was praying for you. I was back there praying my guts out. But I think about all the places, you know, the water where he was baptized, the grove where he received the priesthood. It's just, how are you? So good to see you. You will tell me if I did anything wrong with this. You know, I tried to get a pair set right. Anyway, it's hard to verbalize how significant those incidents were in my life to go see those places, you know, and hear his voice. We're down at the baptismal area, the river. The sunset just right, and the pictures were perfect. And I should have brought some pictures to show you. Doggone it. Anyway, the baptismal font, the grove for the trees for the priesthood was restored. It's also significant to me. So I was really grateful I was able to go there and see it. I want to bring my testimony to you tonight that Joseph Smith was a prophet of God. He was a prophet, and there's no way a 23-year-old could write the Book of Mormon. And I wish the world knew what we know, what I know about Joseph Smith in the Book of Mormon, because it's true. So, let's talk about the Book of Mormon. Let's talk about it. What would the Book of Mormon be in the D&C? Why would the D&C talk about the Book of Mormon? That's a good question. Let's find out. There we go. All right, are you getting ready for us?
Yep.
Thanks. D&C 5:11 to 15. D&C 5:11 to 15. So we have that. Thanks. Dale, you're the best. So, you know, I used to give my students, when I taught at BYU, I used to give my students a quiz. If there were 12 witnesses to anything, could it be disproven? And of course, the answer is no. In a court of law today, if there's 12 witnesses that saw the same thing, there's no way it wouldn't go through. There's no way anybody could throw it over. So, I think it's important to recognize the witnesses and the importance that they play in the gospel plan. 10, 42, 43. 10, 42, and 43. Who's got that? DNC section 10, verses 42 and 43. DNC section 10, verses 42 and, thank you so much.
And behold, you shall publish it as the record of Nephi, and thus I will confound those who have altered my word. I will not suffer that they shall destroy my word. Yea, I will show unto them that my wisdom is greater than the memory of them.
And he did. He did alter their words, and then the last manuscript never came forward. So, look at 1052. DNC 1052. Who's got 1052? Go ahead.
And now behold, according to their faith and their prayers, will I bring this part of my gospel to the knowledge of my people. Behold, I do not bring it to destroy that which they have received, but to build it up.
That's a powerful promise.
The Book of Mormon will go to the Lord's people.
And it will build them up. You know, it'll have them see things clearly. 10, still in section 10. Will you read for us, please? Section 10 verses 60 to 62. So what we have here is the Lord's testimony of the Book of Mormon. And that's pretty significant to have his testimony and his explanation of what's there. Look at 19. There's 26 and 27. Who's got 19 for us? 19. Go ahead, please, Steve.
Again, I command thee, thou shalt not covet thine own property. And part 3 is fulfilling the Book of Mormon, which contains the truth and the word of God, which is my word for the Gentile, that soon may go to the Jew, of whom the Lamanites are a remnant, that they may believe the gospel, and look not for the Messiah to come, who hath already come.
Thank you. So how many of you have a testimony of the Book of Mormon? Why? How? Why? That's the how. What's the why? Why? Please, Carol. Oh. Anybody else? Somebody calling me. So, I think I've shared this with you before, but when I was 8, I got sick, very sick. I was stuck in bed. This is before cell phones or TVs or anything like that. This was a long time ago. Anyway, the only thing in the room was my Book of Mormon. I didn't have anything else but the Book of Mormon. So I thought, well, after a few days of just laying there doing nothing, I thought, well, maybe I'll start reading it. And somewhere in the war chapters, the Spirit brought testimony powerfully that it was true. And I've had testimony ever since. And I've had testimony of everything, but I've had testimony of that ever since. And I've thought a lot about what my life would be like without the Book of Mormon. Without the Book of Mormon, how would my life be? Think about that for just a second. Pause and just think about that. What would your life be like if you didn't have the Book of Mormon? I wouldn't be here teaching, that's for sure. But I'd like you to think about that. I've already thought about it. I'd like you to think about what, as we continue our study of the Book of Mormon in the DNC, what your life would be like without it.
The Book of Mormon will bring to light true points of doctrine. The Book of Mormon will go to the Jews, including the descendants of Lehi.
Interesting. The scripture says that the Lehi's descendants are from the Jews. That's very interesting. Okay, the rich and the poor. Now, this is pretty easy to identify here. I don't know how many of you are rich. I know that I'm poor. In more ways than one. But, you know, in fact, I can't think of a way that I'm not poor. But anyway, what does the Lord have to say about that? Look at 35:15. 35:15. Easy 35:15. The rich and the poor. Go ahead, Dale. Dale, what does the Lord mean when he says the poor? Is he talking financially, or is he talking something else? Yeah, what does he mean? Humility, teachable. I like that. Yeah. So you could be very wealthy and still be poor in spirit. If you, we keep on. So the scriptures are very clear. The poor and the meek are the ones that are going to be ready for the Savior to come. Carol? Yeah. It's hard not to see that, isn't it? Now people would say I'm prejudiced because I was a teacher. I'm poor, but I think trying to step outside myself and look at the whole thing. I think there is something about being needy and being poor in spirit, but also poor. Period. I saw a hand over here. Yeah. Um, yeah. So, um, how many of you served a mission or been to have traveled to third world country? Yeah. So I served in Korea 45 years ago, and it was definitely a third world country. There was the addresses were like this, you know, and they built the homes, not homes. They weren't really homes. They were huts with fences around, barbed wire fences to protect them because there was no police, there was no anything. And one of the sisters that I baptized, she came to see me last year here in Utah, and I took her and her daughter to the general conference, etc. I don't think we understand what it really means to be poor. I think you're right. We really don't really get it. But blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are the meek. That kind of humility is what we need. Um, I remember a student I taught once. He sat in the front row. If I've told this story already, I apologize. He sat in the front row, and after class he says, "Brother Bethlehem, I need to talk to you." To my office, and he says, "I'm a sinner." He says, "Stop. I can't hear confessions." He says, "No, I've already confessed." That's why you don't know the rest of the story. He says, "I was afraid I was going to get out of my house. I was afraid I was going to lose the priesthood. I was afraid I was going to lose everything." But the bishop helped me understand that the Lord doesn't require us to be perfect. He requires us to be poor in spirit and to be humble and meek and repent when we make mistakes. And so I just want you to know that the bishop signed off on my record, and I'm worthy to be here. He said, "Worthy to be here? You don't have to be worthy to be here." Well, I feel like I need to be worthy to be here. He sat in the front row in the middle seat the whole rest of the semester. And he understood what it meant to be poor in spirit. It didn't mean to be perfect. It didn't mean to not have any sins. It did mean, though, to be humble and repentant, and etc. Okay? Um, I wonder how many of us are poor in spirit. I wonder, Lord, here today, if you could say to us, we're poor in spirit. Now, I feel very poor in spirit, but that's up to the Lord to decide, you know. Do you feel poor in spirit? Do you feel like you're good to go? Humility is a tough thing to have, isn't it? Because as soon as you think about it, you don't have it. Um, I'm humble. No, you're not. You're prideful. So it's hard to determine whether or not you're actually, humble and poor in spirit. But I think people that are really poor in spirit lose themselves in the service of others. They're so caught up in everyone else that they forget about themselves. I think that's what it's all about. I remember when I had an interview with Ella Bednar to teach at BYU Idaho, and have I told this story already? Anyway, yeah, I was asked to go to BYU Idaho to interview with President Bednar. He was the president of BYU at the time, wasn't an apostle yet. Well, he's moved up, hasn't he? Anyway, I had a 45-minute interview with him, and he asked me every question that there was, and had me teach. I spent the whole day teaching for the women, etc. At the end of the day, he said to me, "You're hired." I said, "I am?" He says, "Yes. We're looking for somebody who's not full of themselves. Not, as soon as I tell you this, I sound prideful. As soon as I tell you the story, I sound prideful. But the fact of the matter was, he wasn't looking for a scholar. He was looking for somebody who could teach by the Spirit." I feel bad telling the story. This is awful. I apologize. I shouldn't have done it. Anyway, I think you know what I'm saying, though, right? He wasn't looking for a scholar. He was looking for somebody who would touch the students' lives, who would reach out to them. Anyway, I feel really embarrassed now. I shouldn't have said anything, but I think you get what I'm saying. And as you know, I didn't go to BYO because it was too cold. Yeah, he hired me on Thursday. I had till Monday to answer, and I can't do it. It's too cold, please. Well, thank you. Even I can't talk. Maybe even more. That's such a beautiful way. Can I freeze frame that moment and take it home with me? That's really good. Yeah, maybe even more, huh? Life's tough. It's just discouraging sometimes, isn't it? You know, when I got here, Elder Phillips got here, and when he asked me how I was doing, I said, to be honest with you, I'm not doing very good. He says, why? It's been a tough day, and life can be hard, can it? It can be really hard. But we just have to keep plowing through and plugging through and try to be humble, try to be poor in spirit, try to have the power to have an effect on people's lives if we can. I think about your kids and your grandkids, how they must look to you for light, how they must look to you for guidance, for direction. They don't say it out loud because that's not socially appropriate, but I tell you what, they're watching, they are, and they don't notice. I think Roger Slavi, my Bishop Slavi, he's been such a great example of me my whole life. I've lived in his ward for 35 years. Anyway, it's just people like that make a difference in your life. Just really make a difference. So, please.
I like the doctor that you just called the self.
excellent point. He did. He was. The most powerful person in the world was meek and lowly in heart. You know, the most powerful person in the world. That's really good. Thanks for sharing. That's awesome. Yeah. Okay, now I got to do one more thing. I was doing it, but I gotta add that now. So, people ask me about our class. Don't be embarrassed. They ask me about our class, about the people in our class, and it's hard for me to talk about you without crying, because I think the world. That's pardon the pun. I think the world of you, and not worldly, but you know. Um, thank you for your goodness. Thank you for your testimonies. I don't teach a class where I have to worry about my students. Sorry, I don't worry about you. The thing I worry about is me. So, yeah. Anyway, enough of that. Let's go on. Please, Steve. Will you say that again? That was really good. Sorry. Yeah, I love that idea. Wow. I didn't know. Thank you for sharing. I didn't know that. Thank you. It's very good. So, how about here? What kind do you hear? I can't go to Dubai, but what kind do you hear?
Open your mouth.
I'm asking you what you do here. I'm asking you that person. You're a missionary. What are you doing with your mission?
We're at the Family Church in Temple Square.
Really?
Yeah.
At the Family Church Center? Tell us where? What days?
Tuesday and Saturday.
Shoot.
And we go for devotional and sometimes other stuff. But our goal, like we get members of the church coming in, I don't really like talking to them. I mean, we're not there to research for you and build, your family. Our goal is to work with the non-members and help them get started. And
I
learn
feel
how to
guilty
research
now
and
because
build.
I went there and had them help me with my family history. I'm sorry. I'm a member and I was doing the wrong thing. I didn't know that. They so happy to help me.
Well, we have researchers there on different floors that can help.
Yeah, they really helped me a lot. So back to my question. So, family search, you're helping people. You're not focused on yourself. You're focused on other people, getting things done the right way. And with a wife like yours, how could you go wrong, right? Seriously, I mean, seriously. Sometimes I wonder how you did it. How do you do it?
I think it's consecration.
I love
Turn
that.
our will over to the Lord, especially to the point like
Yeah,
you're divesting yourself of the years.
I like that. Thank God. It's good. Wow. Okay. Do we do 35-15? That's really, who would do 35-15? 35-15 for us. We did?
That's where we get 40 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
42-39. 42-39. So I've been to my doctor and he tells me if I talk slow, it comes out more clearly. So I'm trying to talk slow. I'm trying to talk slow. It is tough. It doesn't. Okay. Who has 42-39? 42-39. 42-39. Go ahead. the church currently doing that? Are they taking the resources of the rich and giving it to the poor? From what I read, they are. I mean, from what I understand that, for example, you just gave that example of in Dubai of a million. Yeah, somebody made, yeah. It's true. Yeah. To yeah. They did. Yeah. I went to the Draper Temple this morning and saw the opposite side of this, the wealth. But we read that verse again. It's such a good verse. Read it one more time, please. This part. I think that's one evidence that the church is true. We're doing that. We're actually doing that. Um, I love that. Again, I've been reading President Oak's biography, and it's interesting to see how his legal background allowed him to help with that process. How many of you read the biography of? Oh my goodness, you read it? It's so good. It really is. I bear testimony that he really is a prophet of God. I can't. I'm on chapter 28. I've still got a little bit to finish, but um, I'm making progress. So the part I meant now, he's in the first presidency. He hasn't made the prophet yet. He's in the first presidency. So there's probably not a lot of the book left, but I'm so excited about it. So excited. Can you read that, please?
The riches will be preached to the poor and the meek. The gospel will be preached to the poor and the meek. Riches of Gentiles' converts will be consecrated to the poor of the house of Israel.
That's proof to me the church is true. Yes. 56:20. 56:20. Who has that? Please, Steve.
And the generation shall inherit the earth. Generation to generation, forever and ever. Now my name is instituted unto you, even so. Amen.
The poor will inherit the earth from generation to generation.
To the end of the earth. Now, blessed are the poor, for they shall inherit the earth. What does that mean? Because it seems like it's a contradiction. If they're poor, how would they inherit the earth? Please. You're not. Yeah, please.
Well, and touching that, verse 18 says, the poor are pure in heart, their hearts are broken, and their spirits are contrite.
And so,
So that's what makes up the poor.
that's who they are.
Yeah.
I love that definition.
Will you say it one more time, please? That was really good.
It says, but blessed are the poor who are pure in heart, whose hearts are broken, and whose spirits are contrite, for they shall see the kingdom of God coming in power and great glory unto their deliverance.
Please.
One thing I noticed there is it says, the poor who are this? Because there are poor among us who are not that humble. There's a lot of poor that are proud to be poor and think, I don't know, and have a sense of entitlement or think that anyone else, that everyone else is against them. And instead of realizing that maybe the Lord let them be in that position for a different blessing. Because I know
Can you say that one more time? That was really good.
So instead of realizing that the Lord may have allowed you to get a position so that you can have a different blessing. We have seen that in our life. We mentioned just recently how we, we were really struggling at a point in our life, but because of that struggle, we had another blessing over here. And that wouldn't have been there, and it would have made life even tougher. And so we often think that, I guess because of our society, we think that the toughest thing in the world is being poor. And there's so many other things that can happen, health-wise, and everything else, or not having a job. So I think it's important to realize that the Lord allows us to go through those experiences for our own good. That was said to Joseph
Yeah.
in Liberty Jail.
Yeah. Because of liberty justifies judgment. Yeah. Anybody else? Steve.
Those days when I don't use his favor and point myself to where I'm trying to those days I feel really
And even repent, yeah. You know, I should pay attention to this class tonight because you're really teaching me a lot. I really thank you so much. You're teaching me a lot. I really appreciate it.
Our opening song was "I Need Thee Every Hour," so that
Yeah.
fit perfectly.
Yeah. So, why do you suppose that some people are poor?
In spirit or poor in
Poor, period, financially. Why do you think God made it so that some are poor and some are rich?
opposition in all things?
Please. But people don't see it that way, do they?
No.
They see it as a negative if they're poor and a positive if they're rich. And that leads to pride both ways. Yeah. So I've thought a lot about why would God allow people to be poor and allow others to be rich? And it's totally a test. But people don't look at it as a test. But it is. I have no idea what your financial situations are, or you're poor or rich or anything. But I do know that you're poor in spirit because I feel the spirit when I'm here with you. And I wonder what the Lord would say if He were to walk into my bedroom tonight and look at me. Would He say, "Blessed are the poor in spirit," or would He chastise me for being too poor or not poor enough, or you know what I'm saying? And I think it's something that you can't focus on. You have to focus on others, or you'll miss out on being humble. I don't know how to say that better than that, as I said. So look at 104:16. 104:16. Who has 104:16 for us? Who has 104:16? Is that better? Yeah.
That's good.
Carol, go. Poor exalted, rich made low. Wow. That's an interesting thought.
Poor exalted and rich made low.
You'd have to have faith to believe that, wouldn't you? Because that's not what's happening in the world today. The opposite's happening. Have we done this already?
I don't think so.
Okay. I think we've done this already. I need to just check. I have no idea why I went there. Here's the test my abilities, which are poor. So,
good. It looks good.
Okay, well, I think we've done already, but let's do it anyway. Go ahead.
These verses are laden with important doctrine. 1. Christ was the first to be resurrected. No one was resurrected before Jesus. Others were translated like Moses and Elijah, but none were resurrected before Jesus. One of my students asked me if Lazarus was resurrected.
No.
He wasn't, right?
He
He
was
was
not.
just brought back to life. Okay.
Okay.
2, a man, Adam, brought 2 deaths into the world. 3, a man, Christ, redeemed all mankind from both deaths. Everyone will die, even translated beings. Everyone will be resurrected, even the sons of perdition who had bodies. There is an order to the resurrection. The resurrection began with the very best, Christ. People will be resurrected in order: celestial, terrestrial, telestial. The resurrection will then end with the very worst, the sons of perdition.
Now, why would this matter? That's a really good question. Why would this matter? Oh, come on, you guys. If people start getting resurrected all around you, you don't get resurrected. That's really bad, isn't it? No, right?
Yeah.
So, look at this. Go ahead.
Resurrection, a restoration. The prophet Joseph Smith taught the following concerning the resurrected body. As concerning the resurrection, I will surely say that all men will come from the grave as they were laid down, whether old or young. There will not be added unto their stature 1 cubit.
So if you die when you're 15, you'll be resurrected as a 15-year-old. Okay? Go ahead.
Neither taken from it, all will be raised by the power of God, having spirit in their bodies and not blood. Children will be enthroned in the presence of God and the Lamb with bodies of the same stature that they had on earth.
Oh, that I could have died before I was 8. That would have been so nice.
Of course, children who die do not grow in the grave. They will come forth with their bodies as they were laid down, and then they will grow to a full stature of manhood after the resurrection, but all will have their bodies fully restored. President Joseph F. Smith said that the same person, the same form and likeness, will come forth even to the wounds in the flesh. Not that a person will always be marred by scars, wounds, deformities, defects, or infirmities removed from their course in their proper time, according to the merciful providence of God. Deformity will be removed, defects will be eliminated, and men and women shall attain the perfection of their spirits, to the perfection that God designed in the beginning. What else would satisfy the desire of the immortal soul? Would we be satisfied to be imperfect? Would we be satisfied to be decrepit? Would we be satisfied to remain forever and ever in the form of infirmity incident to age? No. From the day of resurrection, the body will develop until it reaches the full measure of the stature of its spirit, whether it be male or female.
So, I never looked forward to the resurrection until this happened to me, this speech defect, and I can't wait for the resurrection because I'm going to get a perfect body. A perfect body. You won't have to read for me. 1, 2.
So you asked why that's important to the order, and I think in our day it's really significant because when you consider the angels that have come that restore priestly kings and prison with nothing over were really celestially on the same level, literally as God.
That's right. They were.
But for me, it also means, this is my perspective, is that when Christ went into the spirit world in paradise and delivered the keys to open up the priesthood gospel, all of those people there were worthy of a celestial inheritance, and they were given the resurrection just a couple of days later. Meaning that the first missionary
Let's see.
There's more coming up.
Yeah. President Smith never intended to convey the thought that it would require weeks or months of time in order for the defects to be removed. These changes will come naturally, of course, but almost instantly. We cannot look
Sorry.
upon it any other way.
Sorry.
Yeah, how much time? Instantly.
Yeah. Almost instantly. Yeah. Yes. Keep going. Let's keep going.
Okay. He did. He did not intend to teach that the adult who loses a leg will come forth without that leg until it can be grafted on after the resurrection. Rather, his body will come forth complete in every part. Deformities and the like will be corrected, if not immediately at the time of the uniting of the spirit and the body, so soon thereafter it will make no difference. We may be sure that every man will receive his body in its perfect frame in the resurrection. Awesome.
So what's perfect frame? 20? 30?
Yeah.
No age. 20. Perfect frame is perfect, not mortal. So we'll be in a state that's not anything that we've ever experienced before. When Moroni appeared to Joseph Smith, he was better than the noonday sun. That was, he didn't look like a 30-year-old or a 20-year-old.
That's a good point.
He was just bright.
Yeah.
Okay, Carol? That's a great question. What's your opinion, Carol? It would have to be, right? So what does spiritual age look like? Let's go back to your comment. What did you just say? That was really good. I think the brighter we are, that's the more spiritual our resurrection is. So if you're resurrected and you can see yourself, that's really bad. You have to put glasses on to even look at yourself, then that's better. Okay? Why are you laughing? You're telling the truth.
Scars will be removed. No one will be bent or wrinkled. If the Savior could restore withered hands, eyes that had never seen sight, crooked bodies in this mortal life, surely the Father will not permit bodies that are not physically perfect to come forth in the resurrection.
Makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah.
The First Presidency and the Quorum of the 12 have declared that we discourage tattoos and also the piercing of the body for other than medical purposes. We do not, however, take any position on minimal piercing of the ears by women for one pair of earrings. One pair.
Wait till you see this next quote. President Kimball.
This body will come forth in the resurrection. It will be free from all imperfections and scars and infirmities which come to it in mortality, which are not self-inflicted. Which are not self-inflicted. That's a big part. Would we have a right to expect a perfect body if we carelessly or intentionally damaged it?
Whoa.
He also taught, I am sure that if we can imagine ourselves at our very best, physically, mentally, spiritually, that is the way we will come back. Can you imagine that? Life at our prime, never sick, never in pain, never burdened with the ills that so often beset us in mortality?
I can imagine it, and I'm pretty excited about it. You know, sometimes I wonder if I didn't have the speech defect to be an example of this in this class, because I never used to think about this. It never used to be a thing I thought about. I think that's really cool. Until I got my problems, and then I realized, wow, I can't wait for the resurrection. I'm gonna again. I'll be able to read in class. You don't have to do it for me.
Yeah.
So this is a very, very awesome chart. Robert J. Matthews gave it to me. I shared an office. You know I shared an office with him, right? I told you that. When I was taught at BYU, I shared an office with Robert J. Matthews. Believe it or not, Robert J. Matthews. He sat in the next to me. It was crazy. But go ahead and read through that if you wouldn't mind, please.
The order of the resurrection. Resurrection begins with the very best, Christ, and ends with the very worst, the sons of perdition. In the morning, the celestial people from Adam to Christ will be resurrected, and then the late morning, the celestial people from Christ to the second coming.
All part of the morning, though.
All in the morning, yeah.
Resurrection.
And
Go
then
ahead.
in the afternoon, the terrestrial people from Adam to the second coming and the celestial people born during the millennium will be resurrected in the afternoon. And then at the end of the millennium, the telestial people from Adam to the end of the millennium. And then that night, I assume, the sons of perdition.
Yeah. So we're not really interested in 3, 4, or 5. We want to be part of 1 or 2, right? We want to be part of the resurrection and the just.
we missed one. We missed the first one, right?
Oh, but they're both in the morning, see?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this chart. It's the best chart ever. Can you read it for us, please?
With what body do they come forth? The law, the level of the law, that the 12, so celestial, terrestrial, telestial,
we live.
perdition.
That says we live.
Oh, that we live. Okay, thank you. The spirit determines our spiritual development. Then our body, which determines the kind of body we inherit. And then the kingdom, and the kingdom to which we are sent.
I love that chart. So if you live the celestial law and develop a spiritual spirit, you're going to be a spiritual body, and you'll go to the celestial kingdom. What do you think? Pretty good, huh?
It's great. I do have a lot of questions.
What? Please.
Okay. So in the temple and in the biblical tabernacle, all of them, we walk through the rooms, right? We go through the telestial room, then the terrestrial room, and then the celestial room. And that's where we get to stay, is the celestial room. So that's probably what people are at. But are we just assigned a kingdom, or do we work our way through the kingdoms like the temple teaches us?
That's a good question. Let me try to answer this. That's my really 4 minutes I have left, okay? The answer to your questions is yes. Both questions is yes, by the way. Yes, you'll go to the kingdom you earned. Yes, it'll be a progression. Yes, it'll happen all at once. Kind of like that. That's the answer. Why? Time is only measured on earth. Time is not measured in eternities. So, if something happens in eternity, it happens, right? From our perspective right now. So, you can't say, what would it be like the mortal time frame, because time's only can immortality. You have to think about it in terms of the celestial realms, and that is different. So, there's no time there. Zero time. Time does not exist. I had a student come in once and said, "Brother, I want to show you the 8th, 9th, and 10th dimension." And he showed me all this math. The fact of the matter is, it's the end. There is no end to this. So I think for us mortals, thinking about this in eternity is tough, because we think linear time like this, but in reality, it's like that, and then it's like, it happens at once. Does that help?
Yes, a lot. Thank you.
What other questions do you have? More questions?
Oh, well, I guess it's just mainly that one.
So, when we are in the next life, you'll see me, and I'll see you the way we really are. the way we really are.
Yeah. And I believe most of us will go to the celestial kingdom. I really do know that. I just think that we have to progress. We will understand telestial, we will understand celestial, and we will want to be in celestial.
Say one more time.
As we're progressing, right? We're progressing through the telestial and the terrestrial in an instant, but we'll understand them. It's not like we'll be sitting there like, choose A, B, or C. Which one do you want to be?
That's
It'll
right.
be like we'll understand all of them, and we'll get the consequence that we long for.
So, can I modify what you just said just a little teeny bit?
Yeah.
Just a teeny bit.
Okay.
Not a lot, just a little. It's all going to happen at once. So since it all happens at once, I don't think we're going to be able to think. I don't think we're going to be able to look at it the way you just described it. I think it's going to we're just going to be there.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
One other thought, one other idea, I guess, for you as we get to the end of our class. I want to be a celestial person. I want to go to the celestial kingdom. But I made so many mistakes in this life. So many mistakes. So many mistakes. So the real question for me and for many of my students has always been, how can I go to the celestial kingdom if I'm not living this life now? That's a good question. It's a really good question. The answer isn't what you think it might be. The answer is this. It's not where you're at that counts, it's the direction you're going that counts. The direction you're going. And Heavenly Father knows my heart. He knows what I'm trying to do. He also knows my physical limitations. So if my heart's right, if I'm all reverent, everything we talk about tonight, poor in spirit, etc. If we're headed the right direction spiritually, we're gonna end up where we want to be. Period. The end. Period. The end. Do you believe that? Mm-hmm. It's true. And so the most important commandment, I say the most important commandment is thus not judge. Because we base almost all of our judgments on what we can see and feel in mortality, and that's so wrong. It's so wrong to judge that way because we judge what we can see in mortality as mortals, other mortals. What are we judging? Well, this is the celestial kingdom, right? We're doing celestial judgments, not celestial judgments. So the harder we can try to be good, be decent, be nice, really it's about being nice. And loving other people the way they are better. For example, my friend over here, the high council, the one that does the building for us, I love how he treats me. I love how you treat me. I do.
It's not half of what you deserve.
That's not true. See? So I think in reality, we have to live like that. This sister here also reminds me of my time on. She is, I know you'll deny it, but she's so pure, so awesome, so good. It's the truth. So anyway, my point is simply this. We need to find the good in others. We need to see the celestial in others, not the celestial. Remember President Nelson said, think celestial. We need to think celestial. We need to do that. I say his name, Jesus, man. Now, I need to talk to you after class, and you. Go ahead.
Are we done with the prophecies now? We're going to go to promises?
I need to talk to you after class.
Okay. I thought it was just
Please. It's true. Most people don't. The vast majority. But God won't judge a